Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're cutting straight to a question that's creating some serious buzz, in executive circles. Will AI replace the C-suite?
That's a big one.
Yeah, and forget the sci-fi stuff for a minute, because honestly, with the speed AI is moving, this isn't just hypothetical anymore. It's a real strategic puzzle.
Absolutely. And the material you send over, it gives us a great way to look at this.
Right.
We're seeing AI stepping into executive tasks, then there are those, human skills that always define the C-suite.
For irreplaceable stuff.
Exactly.
Right.
And the potential for AI to maybe enhance those roles, plus some, very practical things for today's execs to think about.
Okay, perfect. So our goal here is really to pull out the sharpest insights, give you a clear view of where this might be heading for top leadership.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first up, the material highlights how AI isn't just doing the routine support stuff anymore.
No, it's moving way beyond that.
It's not just chatbots or sorting data. We're seeing AI getting involved in tasks that, used to be purely for senior leaders.
And the examples are pretty striking, aren't they? Your research mentions AI not just like drafting marketing copy,
Right.
but actually building out whole marketing strategies.
Oh, yeah.
And analyzing really complex financial risk, things that, human teams would take ages to do or maybe couldn't even get to that depth.
And hiring, too. Making recommendations.
Yeah, data-backed recommendations for key hires. It's happening.
And we're talking about actual tools people are using now, like ChatGPT, Copilot.
Definitely. Those, plus more specialized AI bots for specific industries, they're being used to inform, sometimes even kind of drive high-level decisions.
So this really pushes us to ask that fundamental question, doesn't it?
It does.
If AI can do some of these executive things faster, maybe even, more accurately based on data, then what's the core role left for human leaders?
Right.
What's their unique, irreplaceable value?
That really is the heart of it. It makes you break down what leadership is, fundamentally.
Yeah.
If you peel back the tasks AI can handle, what's left? Which leads us right into the next bit, doesn't it? The core C-suite functions beyond just the data.
Totally agree. And the material you shared is great on this. It really highlights those indispensable human parts of leadership,
Right.
like vision. And I don't just mean spotting trends. AI can do that.
No, it's deeper.
It's articulating that values-driven future, something that connects with people, creates shared purpose. An algorithm can't really do that.
And emotional intelligence, that's huge too.
Definitely.
It's not just reading emotions from data points. It's, feeling the room.
Sensing the mood.
Yeah. Understanding the unspoken stuff during big changes and tailoring how you talk to people to build real trust. Motivating them as humans, AI isn't there.
And then there's the whole navigating the internal politics.
Right.
In any big company.
Oh, absolutely. That complex web of stakeholders, different agendas.
Building consensus, that's such a human art form.
It really is. And storytelling. Being able to craft that narrative about the company that actually resonates with employees, investors, everyone.
How does an AI tap into those deep human hopes and fears that make a story connect?
Exactly. It can't. Not really. And building that stakeholder trust, that's not just a metric.
No, it's earned over time.
Yeah.
Through ethical actions, being transparent.
Genuine interaction. And finally, that thing people call gut instinct.
Right, that mix of experience, pattern recognition, intuition. It still guides leaders, even the most data-driven ones, in uncertain times.
And this is where you really see the limits of current AI, even the best systems.
Yeah, they can process info like crazy, but they don't have real empathy.
They can analyze data about emotions, sure, but they can't feel them.
Can't build that deep trust you need in a crisis.
Yeah.
Or, truly inspire a team when things get tough.
That human core of leadership, it's still absolutely vital.
Okay, but here's where the material throws in that interesting twist, that but then again idea.
Right, instead of just replacement, what about integration?
The human-AI hybrid leader.
Exactly. What does that look like?
It's a fascinating angle. The potential for real augmentation seems huge.
Yeah.
Imagine the chief strategy officer, example your sources mentioned, not just relying on past data or experience, but having real-time global data, machine learning spotting trends nobody else sees, AI models simulating competitive moves.
All instantly available. It gives them a level of insight that's just unprecedented.
It really paints a picture of an executive with, superpowers, doesn't it?
It does. Someone processing information at a scale and speed. Well, no human alone could manage that.
So the upside seems obvious, right? These AI-boosted leaders could theoretically just perform better.
Outperform purely human leaders, yeah, because they've got vastly better analysis and prediction tools.
Which then leads to that slightly, maybe uncomfortable question the material brings up.
The board question.
Yeah. Could boards, investors start preferring decision-making that's heavily AI influenced?
Right.
Or even AI-driven?
Because of the perceived speed, maybe cost savings.
And that appeal of statistical accuracy, even if it's based on historical data.
It definitely suggests a potential power shift, doesn't it?
For sure.
If people start believing that AI-augmented decisions consistently get, quote-unquote, better results.
However you define better.
Right. It could put real pressure on human execs, not just to use the tools, but to prove their unique value alongside the AI.
Yeah, showing how they complement it, not compete with it.
It really could change the whole definition of what makes a great executive. The skill set needed might fundamentally shift.
Absolutely. Which brings us right to the crunch point for leaders today. Okay, so what do we do now? What are the implications, the actions? Because while a full AI takeover seems unlikely right now,
Yeah, probably not in the near term.
AI's influence is definitely real and it's growing.
No question. So the material offers some key things for CXOs to consider. First and foremost, maybe the most basic, is just learn about AI.
Get fluent, right?
Yeah, not become a coder overnight, but get past any fear or doubt and really try to understand what these tools can do.
And what they can't do, their limits, especially what competitors might be using.
Exactly. Understand the capabilities and the boundaries. Second, double down on those uniquely human skills.
Empathy, creativity, that visionary piece.
Precisely. Those are the differentiators where humans still have a clear edge.
Okay, what else?
Experimenting strategically. That's crucial.
So not just jumping on every new AI trend.
Right. It's about finding specific areas where it makes sense to pilot these tools in decision-making.
Small scale first.
Yeah. Start small, measure the impact carefully, learn and adapt without putting the whole company at risk.
Makes sense. And transparency. That seems vital.
Hugely important. You can't have teams thinking that judgment is just being outsourced to a black box.
That would kill morale.
Totally.
Yeah.
So clear, honest communication about how AI is being used, why, what it means.
Yeah.
That's essential for keeping trust.
Got it.
And fundamentally, this is all about future-proofing their leadership, isn't it?
How so?
Well, the execs who lean in now, who learn to weave AI effectively into how they think and work.
They'll be the ones ready to lead through the changes ahead.
Exactly. They'll be positioned to lead the transformation. Ignoring it just isn't a viable long-term strategy anymore.
Okay, so wrapping this up then. The main takeaway from your material seems to be, we're not really on the verge of robots taking over the whole C-suite tomorrow.
No, probably not even in the next 10 years, realistically. Those human parts of leadership, the vision, the empathy, the judgment calls, they're just too complex to human for current AI.
And it's a big but.
Right. But the landscape is changing fast. AI innovation is speeding up, and that will continue to reshape what executive leadership looks like.
So the critical point for our listeners, for you is
that you have to keep learning, keep adapting, focusing on those uniquely human leadership strengths while also engaging with these new AI tools.
It's not really optional anymore, is it?
Not if you want to stay relevant and effective. It's essential. If you're not actively trying to understand and, experiment with this stuff while also sharpening those human skills,
You risk getting left behind.
you really do, as the whole world of work transforms. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Think about how this resonates in your own world, your job, your industry.
Yeah. What steps could you take to explore this intersection of AI and leadership more?
Something definitely worth mulling over.